If you recall at the top, it asks you what page you want to go to. You can just put what you want. So put 346 and it'll bring these 2 pages up. So we started this chapter talking about what integers are. So here's the word integer, and integers are positive and negative numbers, whole numbers, and 0. We also talked about finding the opposite of an integer. So if you have 3, the opposite of 3 is negative 3. They're the same distance from 0. And if you have a number negative 2, the opposite is positive 2. And just remember that a number and its opposite, the sum of those two is equal to 0. Next we'll go to page 352. So please go to page 352. So type in 352, and then it should take you to page 352, which is about comparing and ordering integers. So if you remember, you were often given a problem like this on your homework, where there were a bunch of numbers or integers to order least to greatest, and you had to put them on the number line. Just remember, the more negative it is, the smaller it is. The more positive it is, the larger it is. Also remember, if you're having trouble graphing a number, say like negative 1/2, you're not sure where that goes on the number line, try 1/2, positive 1/2, because usually you can find the positive more easily, and then you're like, okay, negative 1/2 is the same distance from 0, so it has to be right there. Next we're going to go to page 354, and this is a problem we actually did in class. So now I'm going to page 354, and here's a problem we looked at in class. The problem said, which city in North Carolina has the coldest temperature? So you can see here's 0. This is where Wilmington is right here. But the coldest is actually Raleigh, because their temperature is negative 9 degrees. All right. So negative 9 is colder than, say, negative 5, for example. Okay, and next we're going to go to page 364. So please go to 364. This is about absolute value. So here we are on page 364, and you'll remember that absolute value is the distance from 0. So here's a definition right up here, and it also shows you those bars, which is how you write absolute value. So the absolute value of negative 2 is 2, because it's 2 places from 0, and the absolute value of positive 2 is 2, because it's 2 places from 0. Let's just take a look at number 7 right here. It says the absolute value of negative 4 and then negative 2. We want to compare that. Well, we know the absolute value of negative 4 is 4, and then we have negative 2. So if you had to put the less than or equal than sign in, 4 is greater than negative 2. All right, and there's just what the symbol looks like again. And finally, we'll go to 8.5, which is section page 370, and we're going to talk about the coordinate plane, origin, quadrants, and all that fun stuff. Okay, here I am on page 370, and you're going to recognize all these vocabulary words. We have coordinate plane, we have origin, and we have quadrants. Remember, the quadrants make a C like catfish. When you want to graph a point, you will start at the origin, which is 0, 0, and you will walk before you jump. So if you wanted to graph the point 3, 4, that's your ordered pair, you'd start at the origin and you'd walk 3 to here, and then you go up 4. So the point would be right here. So here the ordered pair is always x and then y. So x is this axis right here, and y is this one right here. The next sections that we talked about had to do with reflections. So I'm going to ask you to watch the video that's right here. And if you still are finding it confusing, go ahead and watch this video as well. They're the same thing. They just give you a couple of examples. So I think that might be helpful. So I'll just show you one real quickly. It says reflect negative 2, 4 on the x-axis. So first I'm going to plot negative 2, positive 4. So that's right here. And then here's my x-axis, so to reflect it, it'll be down here. You can see it right down there. So let's go back here and see. I think that's everything I had for you. And then if you're interested in the exceeds, there is one question about distance, so you could look at page 380 to be prepared for that. There is also an optional ordering of numbers with fractions and decimals, and there's one exceeds problem that's similar to that as well. That's all for now. Thank you.